Yep.
Anyway, all right, let's transition. We got some fun LGBTQLMNOP articles. So our first one is from the Pluralist, which again, as someone with a lisp, fuck you for naming your website
The word lisp
Pluralist.
should be a giant fuck you.
It is.
Because the
It
only
should
people
be.
who can't say it are the people that have one.
So here we have transgender community celebrates after zoo debut slime organism with 720 genders. A Paris zoo unveiled on Wednesday an organism that has nearly 720 genders, dubbed the Blob. The brainless slime mold will be on exhibit at the Paris Zoological Park starting Sunday. Now, I have several questions. Why,
obviously, the one being, how does it have 720 genders?
right, why that number? Like, okay, it's a slime mold. Slimes reproduce via, they basically just break off pseudopods that become their own thing. There's a lot of single-celled organisms and other simple life forms that basically just split. Their body just splits in half and they become two organisms. That's not a gender.
Mitosis. That's the process.
Right. That's not a gender, let alone 720 genders. That's not a thing. Like, if you're asexually reproducing, you're neither male nor female. And so if you don't have biological sex at all, there's no males or females when you reproduce by splitting. So let's take biological sex off the table. So this whole 720 sexes is fucking retarded. Okay, let's look at gender. Well, gender is a social construct. Gender is what society declares to be masculine or feminine. Okay, now let's apply that to slime. How are slime molds masculine or feminine? What behaviors would you look for in an asexually reproducing slime mold to determine whether it is a man or a woman?
If it's asexual, it defeats the purpose. Then
there is no gender in slime molds. There's no gender in anything. I mean, you could argue, the only thing I can come up with are species like the seahorse, where the male carries the baby, like the male deposits his sperm and then the woman gives the baby to the man and the man carries the baby. But that's not even that's not transgender. That's just that's how seahorses reproduce. It's like in spotted hyenas, the female is bigger and stronger than the male and has a pseudopenis. It's weird, don't get me wrong. Most species, for the reasons of protecting the young, the male is the bigger and stronger so he can address the threats. But for whatever reason, in the spotted hyena, the female is the bigger and stronger and she's the aggressive one and she has a pseudopenis. Still, not transgender. The spotted hyena is not an LGBT symbol. It's just an animal with a different type of sexual dimorphism that reproduces in a different way than humans. Slime molds are a different type of organism that reproduces in a different way than humans. They have neither sex nor gender. So to say it has 720 sexes and genders, basically this is just confirming that if everything's a sex, everything's a gender, then nothing's a sex. So you have an organism that has no sex and no gender. Therefore, it has all the sexes and all the genders. But why just the slime mold? You could literally apply this to any simple organism that reproduces asexually via any sort of budding or splitting or mitosis. Now this is the thing. As a proud trans woman, who proudly I wear my bacon flag lapel pin everywhere I go. I kind of resent being compared to slime and fungus and other simple forms of life that reproduce via budding and mitosis. I think it's a little bit insulting that people are taking pride in asexually reproducing slime as some sort of validation for transgenderism. I can't be the only proud trans woman
agree with you.
there.
Could you imagine if this blob couldn't get its balls waxed?
Perhaps. They don't have balls.
Yeah, but they have genders, so they must have balls and vaginas.
No, but they don't. That's the whole point. The whole point of balls and vaginas is to facilitate sexual reproduction. But a lot of life forms don't reproduce sexually. Now there are life forms. I think it's a slug. There's a slug that they're hermaphroditic, so they're male and female. And what'll happen is when the two slugs mate, they'll fight, and the winner injects his penis into the loser, and the loser becomes the woman, and the winner stays the man. That's how they assert their dominance, by having prison style sex. And that's who they determine who the male or the female is. But the slugs are equally capable of being both. So I'm kind of surprised that isn't, if the trans community is going to jump on this slime mold, why not the hermaphroditic slugs? Why not there's so many different examples of species that reproduce in an unusual way, or can either are hermaphrodites or they reproduce asexually. It's just kind of dumb to focus on this one slime mold and to declare it has 720 sexes. It's just really this is where we are. This is where we are. This is the world we live in.
Welcome.
Yeah. Well, speaking of waxing balls, let's start our next article.
I set you up for that one.
Yeah, that was a granny throw. So this is a sad day for our kind sisters. A transgender activist who tried to force beauticians to wax male genitalia loses case. The females can't be forced to wax hairy balls. Outrageous. This injustice will not stand. Now, however, there's a ray of hope. So essentially, hold on. Let's see what Celestine has to say.
The reason the LGBTQ+ is doing this is probably because weebism is affecting their movement. That time I got reincarnated as a slime is pretty popular.
So the Canadian official who ruled against this brave trans woman who wanted her masculine clitoris waxed said that he's actually on board generally with the idea that refusing to provide services based on gender identity is a form of discrimination. What it really came down to was the technicians at the salon that does the genital waxing, they weren't trained on how to wax a penis.
But right. You know what? This is one of those cases, this Jessica Yaniv, where your philosophy of how do you win clown world really applies. Because you know what the woman should have done when he walked in and she said, "Oh, you're going to give me the wax, or I'm going to sue you for discrimination or whatever." She should have said, "You know what? No problem. I've told you I'm not trained. I told you I don't know what I'm doing. Please lay down and just start warming up that wax to like 180 degrees and dump a bucket right on his balls, melt it right off his body, and say, I told you I didn't know what I was doing. You said you were going to sue me for discrimination if I didn't do it."
Well, yeah. You're either going to get sued for discrimination, or you're going to get sued for melting someone's dick off with boiling hot wax. So if you're going to get sued anyway, it's like the whole thing of, if I'm going to go to jail, like if someone falsely accuses me of something, and I know I have no rights, and if no evidence needed, I'm just going to jail because I have a penis. Well, if I'm going to go to jail anyway, I might as well go to jail for manslaughter at that point. Like, why go to jail for some bullshit false rape accusation? Well, I can go to jail for pushing someone's eyeballs in. At least I'll earn it. So, if you're gonna if you're gonna get sued anyway, you might as well melt their dick off with boiling hot wax.
May as well pick the fun option.
Right, just pick exactly. That's how you rule clown world, is you pick the fun option. But yeah, Anyway, yeah, stunning and brave. But we're not done yet. We got some more tranny articles. All right, this is another fun one. It's from this year. So we all knew this was coming. We all predicted this was coming. We can all now rest easy. It's happened. Model 25.
I knew this was coming. We all knew this was coming.
We all knew this was coming. Now it's happened. October 18th, 2019. Cue up the I told you so dance. Model 25, who became Britain's youngest transgender person at 15, claims she's a victim of transphobia after a pornographer refused to have sex with her because she has a penis, and is being investigated as a hate crime. So, person did not want to have sex with trans person because they still have a penis, and that is a hate crime. Hate crime, not taking dick in your butthole, or not playing patty cake while fucking a dude in the butt and having your balls slap against each other, is a hate crime. Go to jail. Yeah. Well, no, denying. Well, if you showed interest before you learned they were trans, and then you find out that they're trans, and you suddenly reverse course, like actually, I'm not into man, ass, and dick, then that's a hate crime. And now, okay, let's show what this stunning and brave trans woman looks like. So she's got the DSLs. She's clearly got some work done. It would be very difficult to look at that and be like, oh, that's clearly a she-male. That's a chick with a dick. That is a trans woman.
No, I'm not saying that anymore. No more chick with a dick. It's now a dude with tits.
Okay, so it's whatever. So, but you wouldn't know. So let's say you're chatting her up and she seems cool, and then she tells you she's trans, and you suddenly say, you know what, I'm not into dick. Now you are guilty of a crime. You are going to be charged with a hate crime for being transphobic, unless you have sex with him.
What she's saying is that she doesn't understand because it's clearly written on her page that she's a lady boy.
Boy lady.
Okay. Well,
she writes as lady boy.
Well, look, I mean, I don't know, maybe he missed that part. Maybe he was just looking at the pictures.
Maybe he thought it was like another way to say tomboy.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Well, here's the thing. I know this is old trodden ground, but I mean, it just needs to be said. You're not entitled to sex. Like, someone could say, I'm not into you for any reason. Like, having standards and preferences isn't, like, it is discrimination in the truest sense. Like, everyone's got their preferences. Having preferences is not a hate crime. You're not entitled to sex with a person just because you're into them. If they're not into you, they have a right to say no to sex too. It's not like the fucking rape man from the Boondocks. Like, I like shit and I want so. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. That's not how. And if you want to do that, if you want to play that game, if you want to make it like you have to have sex with me or I'm going to have you arrested for a crime, that is. I mean, I know it's a cliche. That is literally rape culture. You're trying to make it legal to rape people by threatening to charge them with a crime if they don't let you have sex with them. That is smashing the patriarchy right there. When you can rape men and they can't do anything about it or say no, because then it's a hate crime to say no. Now, we joked about this for years. We kind of joked about, soon these feminists are going to say that saying no to them is rape. Here we are. We did it. October 18th, 2019. It's happening. You know that Ron Paul gif? It's happening. It is now rape to not have sex with someone that you don't want to have sex with. It's reverse rape is a thing. We did it. We've now gone full clown world. And the year's not even over yet. It's not even... 2019 isn't over. We still got 2 more months. And then it's an election year. Good Lord.
Yay, elections.
Everything is rape.
Lord.
Everything is rape on the feminist team. Everything is rape.
Now, okay, here's the
feminist dream.
Here's what I don't get. Like, if you are trans, if you are a lady boy, whatever the fuck you want to call it, a fuda, there are people who are into that. There are people who are totally down for some feminine penis, some masculine clitoris, whatever you want to call it. Like, there are people who are into Tess Holiday, who think she's beautiful, and she's a fat piece of shit. So, look, if that person isn't into you, there's someone out there that is. Like, I don't understand this issue. Like, there's different strokes for different folks. Like, if you find someone that you're into, but they're just not into you. Like, let's say we took women's rights away, and I was dating again. And I met like this beautiful Hafu that was like half Asian, exactly my type. And she looked at me, he's like, I don't fuck chimpanzees. You know what? I can respect that. Not everyone is down for a little bestiality. I can appreciate your things. And I'm gonna go find someone who's willing to take a chance. Because let's say we passed a law that said if a chimp petitions you for sex and you say no, that's a hate crime, and I would basically pressuring women into fucking me under threat of going to prison, that's not going to be good sex. That's going to be crying, creepy rape sex. Like, I'm not down with that. I want a woman to enjoy it. I want her to be like, yes, give me that banana, big boy. I want her to like take every centimeter with a smile on her face. You know what I mean? All right. Our next article is from Fox News. Transgender cyclist Rachel McKinnon dominates. Competitors raise questions. Let's see that beautiful bacon flag. That is the flag of victory right there. That is the future of female sports.
What
bacon
the fuck
flag.
Is that thing?
That's the transgender flag. It's the bacon flag of victory.
I'm talking about the thing holding it up.
Oh, that is Rachel McKinnon, the champion cyclist.
Dear God.
Look, you know what? Most athletes aren't that attractive. Look, it's not a requirement to be attractive. Have you seen the WNBA?
Stunning and brave.
Yeah, but look, Rachel, don't let the haters stop you, girlfriend. You proudly wave the bacon flag of victory everywhere you go. Stunning and brave, Rachel McKinnon, champion, winner, inspiration. Are you worried about the future? Don't be. Gear up, get prepared.